Morning, folks. Okay, Sunday morning, getting ready to head out. I'm just up here at the shelter. Got my my gear, getting ready to go. Cooking some breakfast, making sure I'm all organized and have everything. And you can see in the background where I camped over there on the pavilion. This is where the sun's coming up. And there's another couple that was camping in the same area as me. They're just packing up too, getting ready to go. So I'll be on trail in a few minutes. Alrighty, I'm back on trail. It's about 8:30 Sunday morning, and I have got, sorry about that sun in the back. I've got about 6 miles to a town called Front Royal, and I'm gonna stop there and look for a meet point to get a ride back. So all total for the weekend, it's going to end up being around 22 miles. And today's hike, I've got 2 climbs that I can tell. Just spend some time looking at my map. It's going to be, I think, 1800 incline, or 1800 the first climb, and then the second one is about 2000, and then I drop down from there into Front Royal. So it'll be 2 good climbs in a 6-mile stretch. Shouldn't be too bad. I had a great night's sleep. I hung out by the campfire until about 10 o'clock, and then my eyes started to close, so I went to bed, and my alarm actually woke me up at 5:20 this morning. So I slept right through like a log. And only other thing that woke me up a little bit was some critter must have run through the woods, probably some deer, and it startled me a little bit, but that was like at 5:18, so 2 minutes later my alarm went off and I got up, did a little reading. I've been noticing over the last mile up here, there's trees. I don't know if you can see that tree off there in the distance, the yellow mark on it. There's another one over there. Actually, there's 3 in a row. And those are all ash trees. Apparently there's been a blight or some kind of a beetle or bug that's gotten into these ash trees. And I guess they're marking them to take them down before they fall, trying to save some of the other trees, take them down in a controlled way so that they're not taken out live and healthy trees at the same time. So if I happen to spot a ranger or one of these guys, environmentalist guys that do this, I'll ask them and try to get some more details. Okay, I'm coming up on looks like some markings here. See what it says. All right, Floyd Shelter. So it looks like I've come 2 miles so far, and looks like there's a campground here. So I guess that goes off to a campground this way. Again, the blue blaze is off the AT, and it looks like the Appalachian Trail continues this way, which is where I'm headed. I'm kind of walking along a ridge here, and you can see through the trees in the background, that's the Blue Ridge Mountains. That's kind of where I'm headed. Keep going up and over each one as you head south. A couple weeks you're not going to be able to see this. 2 to 3 weeks when these leaves come on the trees, you won't be able to have these views like this. So one of the benefits of winter hiking. I wanted to show you guys something of interest to me, at least. These here are walnuts, and that's the outer layer. It's usually green when they grow on the trees. That's the part that they make stain out of. If you've ever peeled one of those off and get it on your hands, it'll be there for a few days. It's very difficult to get off. And then this is what's inside that we would crack afterwards. So these are very abundant out here in the Blue Ridge, and these are hickory nuts. You can kind of see that larger one right there with the splits, the way they split. And then inside is this part right here. And that part inside the shell that comes off is what we would eat. I'm gonna see if I can zoom in on something here. That one doesn't have it. Sometimes these things have, oh, there it is. See that hole in that one? What happens in the trees is, I'm gonna get going on my walk. Just wanted to show you that all these nuts are out here abundant. What happens when they're up in the trees is caterpillars get in those things and they drill those little holes into the nuts and they lay seeds, eggs. And that's why they're kind of dangerous to eat. You have to check them. If you're ever gonna crack those open and try to use them for food, I would boil them up first. Inside the shell, boil them while they're still in the shell. And then crack them open and eat them. So I thought that was of interest. If you're ever in a survival situation in the woods, it's good to know what kind of food sources you have. Always have to be careful, but there is food sources out here. It might not always taste good, but if it's a matter of life and death, you gotta do what you gotta do. Earlier that I was out here to forage mushrooms as well. Well, I haven't found any. Up on the mountain, the foliage just isn't there yet. For morel mushrooms, the temperature of the soil needs to be sustained at 50 degrees for a little while for them to sprout. I'm gonna show you two things. I was just pointing at the skunk cabbage over here. When the skunk cabbage starts to sprout, that means the soil temperature is getting right. I'm down really low right now along a river over here. And these guys right here are called May-apples. And those guys are affiliated with morels. So when they start to pop, that means you can start looking for morels in the same area. So I'm gonna keep looking as I hike. Maybe I'll find some. If not, then I'll definitely be out next couple of weeks looking.